17 years old and I'm from Ethiopia. I know, shocker. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of Ethiopia? Mountains? Coffee? Hunger? Perhaps a big forehead? It's factual, we have them all. In fact, and this is very interesting, one of the things that I really love about Ethiopia is how coffee is such an integral part of our culture. So we all have this unique ability called coffee telepathy. It's like magic. Whenever we share a traditional coffee ceremony, we can transmit thoughts and emotions directly to each other, as in literally get a glimpse of each other's minds through the aromatic coffee beans. As the coffee gets poured into delicate cups, participants hold hands and close their eyes. The warmth from the cup awakens dormant senses. The caffeine molecules, infused with ancient energy, connect our minds, like literally. It's like a secret language only Ethiopian coffee lovers understand. And one thing that I really love about the international community is how they believe everything we tell them about our culture. It's very easy to make people believe what you're saying is true and amusing. But one wonderful attribute that we do possess that most people aren't actually aware of is the culture of comedy and satire. When people first think of Ethiopia, they may not immediately think of comedy or laughter. They may not think of literature or education, and they most importantly will not think of luxury. And that's true, we're not in luxury. But what we are is content. We're a community of hospitable and happy people despite our obstacles, with vibrant humor culture and great skills of comedy. We have a non-individualized lifestyle with a tendency to share our struggles through satire. Comedy is a relief, it's a coping mechanism. It's also a weapon to resist when you find yourself in a situation where you can't directly speak up. You know, jokes really allow you to express something that can't be clearly said, for whatever reason. Among different communities, sensitive matters and topics like sexuality, mental health, racism, and oppression are skillfully and smoothly conveyed through them. Through humor, we can destigmatize taboo topics and create a sense of relief and healing. In Ethiopia, this creates a wider stage for people to voice out their opinions without restriction or without the fear of losing their social life or status. Ethiopians with little say in their country's economic and political policies make use of humor as a tool to survive. It's one of the few spheres of expression that officials don't dominate. The Amharic word equivalent to humor is ጨዋታ. It broadly refers to playfulness, and it has connotations of provoking laughter, knowledge of language, and just talking in general. If you have a good sense of humor and are a great joke teller, you are ተጫዋች. It literally means one who knows humor. Comedy is used for playful criticism or satire, as well as persuasive purposes. ጨዋታ is the go-to for Ethiopians to show how they view their country, the politics, their economic and social realities, and for rulers to address the public or each other. As such, satire is at the core of human interaction in my fundamentally diverse country. This is not to say that humor is the only way of communication or self-expression, but one that is preferred for social and political interactions. People make use of humor all over Ethiopia. It's like our way of expressing ourselves. Mainly because it draws laughter, as well as invites a positive energy, even in dark and challenging times. Laughter is not just a response to humor for me. It's a social vocalization that binds people together. The musical rhythm that comes with the periodic vibration of the diaphragm has the ability to suck misery and frustration out of one's mind. I have been blessed with a very unique laughing pattern. My friends like to refer to it as the witch laugh. They unfortunately find it funnier than my jokes. It's contagious. It has the ability to light up a room and create a positive atmosphere. Laughter relieves the mind and enhances connections and bonds. It's very common for people to put a good sense of humor as a criteria for a partner. It's for a reason. Humor makes you feel at ease and connects you to the person, especially when it's relatable. I grew up in Addis Ababa with my grandmother, Africa's diplomatic hub, very urban, densely populated, bustling markets, a vibrant and lively art scene, just a melting pot of cultures. Most of our chawata falls under the relief theory of humor, and we use it to voice out our opinions. From our neighbors to our government, my people don't shy away from commenting on aspects that they find unjust or faulty by embedding honest outlooks in their jokes. Young people in particular tend to select simple solutions for life's challenges. If everybody's struggling with it and everybody's frustrated, why not just laugh about it? Though they might only eat once a day, it's very common to see people smiling and laughing around Addis. For regular minibus taxi users like myself, hilarious but deep quotes that cover taxi interiors, coupled with a murderous driving, make getting around the city an adventure-filled experience. The hysterical but thought-provoking jokes offer an all-too-important glimpse into the lives of the youth, their roles in the capital, their frustration, and their relationship with the wider community. These texts also show strong knowledge of language, poetry, and proverbs, as well as the skill of using them to fit their daily lives. These codes, posted by the taxi service providers, offer unfiltered opinions and outlooks of young Addis Ababans. Having been excluded from and denied spaces where they can be heard, this is like their own platform for freedom of speech. I mean, where else will they be heard? With regard to Ethiopia's political and socio-economic conditions, people make use of humor as a tool to survive, as a tool to vent out their frustrations, and as a tool to explain their lack of hope. The parliament is the most apparent venue for satire in Ethiopia. This reminds me of the statements made by the Tejaj, late Ethiopian Prime Minister Meles Zenawi, who was a bald-headed leader known for his oratory skills, while speaking about how you may hold different ideas or perceptions of others, but can never insult or offend them. I am bald. You can call me bald, but you can never touch my bald head. You can say that it's bald, but you cannot touch it. He is still remembered for his chawata, which he used to deflect questions and discipline critical members of parliament. Ethiopian politicians use humor regardfully, in part to establish reputation, and in part to outsmart their rivals. They usually exhibit openness and willingness to entertain the public, which adds to their listenability in the parliament and beyond. Humor is used for more than just criticizing politicians. Joking and joke-telling are dominant in the non-formal, non-political spaces of the country as well. But the deeper meanings of these jokes are usually not very easy to understand from the surface because of their satirical nature and their double meaning. Someone would say a joke to you in the middle of a conversation and you'd laugh so hard, and then you'd realize what they actually meant after a while to go, wait, what? Humor is a very valued way for people in urban Ethiopia to coexist. A very, very valued way, more than just a coping mechanism. Many cultures and ethnic groups all over the world have a rich tradition of using humor in their daily interactions. For example, Jewish humor is known for its wit and irony, while Irish humor often features playful banter and storytelling. There is no right or wrong way to do humor. Humor is a social instrument that is found across all cultures. In Eritrea, humor is used as a response to situations of dictatorship and state-controlled media accomplishing very important political work. As comedy is usually based on ironic and sarcastic remarks, the fine line between humor and offense often appears to be non-existent. To give a more familiar example, remarks like Matt Ripe's domestic violence joke are more destructive than entertaining or educating. It is very crucial to maintain both humor and respect. It's very important to keep sensitive issues, personal boundaries, and differences in culture into account. Keeping these things in mind guarantees that humor is used appropriately and makes a positive contribution. When used the right way, humor has the ability to literally unchain societies, to liberate society of burning issues by bringing minds together and promoting a sense of community. People almost feel indebted to stand-up comedians as they leave their shows, feeling a sense of satisfaction, as if the comedian had just disciplined unfair authorities or attacked their problems for them. Humor can boost engagement and actually capture attention. The University of California found that using humor during presentations increased audience engagement by 15%. Clearly, that's true. Humor can really make a difference. What would happen if the global community adopted humor as a tool to survive and as a coping mechanism instead of violence or a bottle of whiskey? What would happen if we were to establish a community that voices out their opinions, their pains, and their concerns to each other in a lighthearted but knowledge-packed manner, like my community? How great of a change would we be able to put forward, especially in the lives of young people, if we adopted a culture of expressing issues and dislike effectively instead of suffering in silence? What if this effective method is humor? It's really powerful. It gives my community this power to make themselves understood, their opinions heard, their voices amplified, and their message conveyed, without having to take the rather risky path of directly approaching socio-political issues. Serious matters of discussion are highlighted through chawata from all members of society. Older Ethiopians, like my grandmother, often, almost always, include proverbs, very, very clever sayings, and lots of quotes in their speeches, usually to discipline you in a way, and to correct you, to make their points. Through her sarcastic gosh daggaraj, or good, you did well, whenever she observes the obviously not so good results of my questionable decisions, she makes sure that her message is adequately conveyed in a way that is more comprehensible and in a way that will never make you forget what you did. So that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. It's about humor being the key to addressing social and political issues. It definitely can't alone be a driver of positive change, because humor is only successful if there's an audience that gets the joke. But accompanied by resilience and better implementation of beneficial policies, it sure can drive positive change. Can it really be done? Can we really use comedy and satire as a tool for global change? I believe so. Food for thought. Thank you. I'm a second.